Hey there, I'm making a video today to talk about my custom JK Foreman boots that I just got in the mail today and I've been wearing for the last about 6 hours or so. I first heard about JK boots on YouTube through Buck and Billy Ray Smith. He has a YouTube page. He's a lumberjack out of Canada, and he's just, from what I can tell from his videos, just a really great guy, and I really recommend checking out his videos. But JK Boots made him a pair of boots, and he made about 35-minute video on them and could not have been happier about them. But at that time I just wasn't looking for boots, so I really didn't really think about them that much. And then in the last couple months I had been getting more into custom work boots and looking for a pair, and I saw that same video pop up on my YouTube feed, so watched it again, got interested, and went to JK Boots website and was really impressed by what they had, and I really wanted a pair of their boots. I didn't really need like a big heel, like the big logger heel that they have on all their other models, like the Fire Inlander, or just like, which is like their Wildland boots, or the Packer, which is just different style of boots, but they all have that like a big heel, which I don't really need. I'm just walking on concrete all day in a warehouse, just back and forth, so not something I need at all. I checked out, they have what's called the Foreman, which is this, which has a Vibram Christie sole that you can get custom, or just in a color. You think it was white or black. They may have had a different color, I'm not exactly sure. But I was interested in these boots. I was interested in a pair of what Nick's had, is similar to this, but they only do an 8-inch boot, and these are 10. Personally, I just like higher boots, and that was really what made me pull the trigger on these, was the fact that you can go like any height on a pair of JK boots. There's really no limit. They don't care. I think the highest is like 24 or 16, which if you shouldn't need higher than that at all. Let's see. So, thing about YouTube and these boots is there are pretty much no videos about these style of boots. There's hundreds of videos on all the other custom boots that they have, or all the other companies have, but there's probably a total of 5 videos on boots that have these wedge soles. So I'm hoping that if throughout this video I can answer any sort of questions, or if you're thinking about getting a pair of these or something similar to this, that you'll be able to make your decision, or I can help you make that decision, you know. Cost, these were $4.75 on their website. It was an extra $10 to get the black eyelets, which no problem paying. I'm happy to do that. I personally just like black stuff, clearly. And then it was also an extra $75 for their expedited service, which on their website says should be completed within 3 weeks, and these arrived exactly at 3 weeks, so I'm pretty happy with that. Their normal lead time, I think it was only 7 weeks, which is nothing compared to what other companies were having. I mean, I saw like as high as like 16 weeks, which I may be happy to wait for at some point in the future for a different style of boots, but I kind of needed a good pair of work boots quickly, so that's why I went, one of the reasons why I went with these. Like I said, these are the 10-inch. Just as a comparison, I have a few other boots down here. So these are kind of just like my normal casual boots. These are Doc Martens, the 1490s. So if you know Doc Martens, you know that they have a different model, like the 1460, which is probably down to here. These are already a fairly high boot, and then just next to each other. So these the JKs are probably about an inch taller than this. So I'd say this is a 9-inch and these are 10. Here, I got another pair. These are my work boots when I was out doing roofing stuff. This is Red Wings, the Super Sole 2.0, I think it is, which is an 8-inch boot. Again, just as a comparison. These are a size 12D, and they were just the tiniest bit too narrow for me. So on specifically my right foot, my toe was a little scrunched, but with these, you fill out a custom fit sheet. I scanned it, emailed it to them, and did measurements on the ball of my foot, the arch of my foot, and then the instep. And then because these were 10-inch, you measure, I think it was 6 inches, 8 inches, and then 10 inches on your leg. Write it on a sheet, scan it into the computer, and email it in. And these fit amazingly. Like the toe box is like perfect. It's like wide. It's like just wide enough where I'm like, I have enough room to move my foot around and scrunch my toes and all that good stuff, and really not feel the edges of my boot like too much at all. There's like no pressure on my foot at all. As a comparison, I don't have them here, but I do have a pair of gym shoes that are like the barefoot style. So it's got a really wide toe box that fits to your, pretty much fits to your foot. And honestly, it feels similar to this, just specifically in the toe box area with how much room that I have. One thing that I was surprised about when I put these on, even though, I mean, they advertise it for all of their other boots, was even in these, there is a pretty like moderate, like little bit of arch support, which in comparison and Doc Martens, if you have, then none at all whatsoever. So it was a nice surprise, honestly, when I put them on. Let's see. One of the other things about this boot, it is completely rebuildable and resolable. One thing I wasn't sure about, just looking at pictures on their website, was if the sole had been stitched on like the other boots. But as you can see here, it has been, so it is not going to be coming off anytime soon. Only, like, this isn't even like a flaw of the boot. This is just something, just part of the sole, which is just like all these little flappy parts, which are going to wear off in time. So literally not a concern for anybody at all. Should not be. Let's see. I have been wearing these today. Like I said, it's been about 6 hours that I've been wearing them. I did notice, and they do warn you about it on like pretty much on a bunch of their videos, specifically on the lacing video, was a bit of ankle bite, which wasn't surprised about, was kind of expecting it. I did end up doing, it was like the 2-1-3 method of lacing that they recommend in one of their videos, and that really did cut back on it a lot. So if you're experiencing that, if you're worried about that, try doing that lacing. It should help. One of the things about this boot that kind of blows me away is just the construction of it. I mean, these things are sturdy in every spot. I mean, you can take a look at just how thick the leather is on the upper, and I mean, that just goes all the way down, so that's insane. But these are not really that stiff. I mean, other than up here, which is gonna be, that's just gonna get better through time. I mean, look at that. I can just all the mobility in this, in a brand new boot, is kind of crazy. And then, yeah, just again, a comparison for Doc Martens, just how thin this leather is compared to that. Let's see, I ended up getting the leather laces just because I like the look of it. They do have like cord laces, and then they have these, I think they were Ovenoff's oiled laces, which I might try, but we'll see. I mean, whenever these break, which who knows how long that'll be. Let's see. So like I said, I'm going to be using these boots, just walking on concrete all day. They are going to be just a general like garage and motorcycle boot that I'm going to be using too. I mean, honestly, they're just going to be my everything boot. So I'll be doing that. I just like getting it totally murdered out, all blacked out. I know there's a whole bunch of brown boot guys out there. Personally, I'm just not one of them, but they do have, this does come in a brown, and then they also have a red, which was kind of cool. The sole can either be white or black. I think they might have had like a natural color one too, which is kind of more of a beigey, but you know, again, just all black for me. I just like black boots. And then I will put them on and show you what they look like now. All right, so I'm doing that fold that they recommend. I know some people like to just tuck it in like that, but I think this looks cool. I like it personally. And it does offer you an extra layer of protection on your shin, which, like I said, I'm going to be using these on the motorcycle, so I'll probably be thankful for that. So by the 213, this is what they meant. So you skip the first one, you go to the second one, then all the way on the opposite side, down to the first, and then up to 3. And then same thing on the other side. And that does really help on any sort of ankle bite. It's not gone completely, but it's less. One thing I forgot to mention is I did end up getting my kilty or whatever else it was called with rounded off edges instead of like the normal frilled that they have, which isn't like an option, but I just asked for it and he said absolutely no problem at all. So Tim was the guy I spoke to, who was one of the co-owners. It's a family company. It was started by Tim's dad, and he and his brother are both a part of it and working on making boots. So I think that's real cool. So you can check all that out on their YouTube page and the videos that they have. Leather laces are gonna be, they're not stiff, it's just a little difficult to get them in, but they are gonna break in with the boots, so not a big deal. All right, so that is what they look like on. Personally, I like to show my boots off when I'm working, so I usually tuck my pants in, but I'll show you both angles. So here it is with the tucked in and then covered. You know, just because I know there's different people with different styles, so everybody's different. Everybody wants to see what it looks like, however they do it. So those are my new boots. If you have any questions or anything I didn't answer that you might want to know, just ask me. Go ahead, leave a comment, question. And then also, you can definitely give Tim or anybody else over at JK Boots a call, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks.